So guys, hi. This is going to be a supplementary video to our lab tutorial, which will be first of all covering. We will be covering this one, image upload to S3 using Spring Boot, and we will be making a small application and be uploading the image profile picture. It will go through S3. We're going to display the same. So first of all, I think that the step one of this is kind of very straightforward. It's there in the in this blog post. I'll just put it back. I'll just post the link in on a Blackboard thing. We did cover up about Spring Boot and what S3 is, what the terminologies are in the last lab. Okay, so let's just go ahead and getting it started. First of all, we'll be using, there are two ways to upload. First of all, is the put and the post. I understand post is a way better method to upload, but as of now, we'll be studying the put method because it's kind of simpler and more logical to understand. But post, it's always preferred because you'll not use you'll not waste your server bandwidth on that. But as of now, for simplicity, let's just select this. But again, this is a supplementary video. We'll talk more about S3, talk more about post, talk more about put in the upcoming lab. So first of all, I'm just going to, these are very straightforward steps. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it really, really fast. So first of all, I'm just opening AWS console. I'm just going to go to sign in. Okay. So what we are doing here is we're just creating a new bucket. A bucket is where we can put stuff and get stuff from. We'll talk more about it in the lab. This is a create bucket. Just click on this, enter a DNS name. I'm just gonna put like Feb 15 test bucket. That should be fine. The region same. Click on next. Click on next. Again, these are a few advanced things. We will glance through them in the lab, but as of now, it's not that important. Make sure you have these permissions. You will not have your own account. You can add more accounts here. I'm just going to keep everything recommended. Let's create a create bucket. That's it. So as you can see, we have created this bucket over here. Now, a bucket you can manually upload your files to this bucket, or you could programmatically upload it. A bucket is a simple thing. You just put stuff in it, and you can accessible to the internet or whatever your app is, which we'll talk more about in the lab. Again, so your bucket has been created. Now, what we want to do is we really don't want the bucket to be, we don't want, let's say whenever you're putting an object in the bucket, you don't want to share, use your credentials that you have to use to log in. So you don't want to create, actually, we don't want to have a account that has permissions everywhere. So I'm just going to go back to the service here. I'm going to go to IAM. That is the identity management thing. So as of now, what we're going to do is just go down. You can see here, I'm just going to go to users. I'm going to add a user. The name should be, I don't know, anything. Image upload, maybe S3. I'm going to make it, let's say, my new app, let's say. Okay. I want the programmatic approach. I don't really want to log into this one. We'll click next. Now you could create a group, as you know, an S3 group will have access to all the S3 things. But I'm just go attach this thing. I'm gonna search for S3, my full access. Again, I would explain everything what we are doing more in the lab. This is because if you need help at home, you could go ahead and use it. Okay, let's go to create user. You can see here now he says secret access key. Make sure you copy this one, and I'm just going to open something here and paste it. This is my access key ID, and that's my, yeah, I will be deleting this. So anyways, it's going to be useless for you guys if you copy it, but you have to make this in your own console and do it. Okay, done. So as you can see, we have the user here, a new app, and that's it. So we are mostly done with the configuration. We have done EC2 last time. We have installed Nginx on that. We'll not be using it for this lab and for the few labs that will come in the future. But yeah, we'll be hosting the application on Spring application. We covered this in the last lab. Again, this is going to be a supplementary video, not a primary video. This should be an additional thing for your lab. So I expect everybody to attend the lab, and then, yeah, again more about what we are doing and why we are doing everything. I'll be explaining I'll be explaining, sorry, all the terms there. Again, I'm just going to give it some file upload, whatever. Next, I will be selecting web. So that's my web one. I will be selecting H2. I will be selecting MySQL, whatever you want. I'm just going to select H2 because we'll build up on that. I'm not going to select AWS Core. Again, we do have a Spring version of the things wrapped around it, around the AWS thing, but AWS services. As of now, we need to get some basic understanding of. So we will not be using the Spring things. We'll be using the Java SDK. So yeah, for now, let's just do that because it's like a beginning thing. So I don't want to focus more on the high level things. Okay, let's click on the next one. Finish. Again, we have covered this in the lab one. If you have any doubts, you can check out the video on Blackboard. But anyways, so I'm just going to go to my the lab content which I posted. We will be copying a few dependencies that we need for our project in one.xml. We are using uh, we are using JSP for this one. It is not recommended, but again, since most of the people have background in JSP, it's good enough. Now let's just go to my properties. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to go and copy these over here. Okay, I'm going to create the folder structure required. New folder. Yeah, we'll make it web app. New folder. Okay, that should be. I'm going to create a new JSP file. I'm going to click other JSP file. You can search here. I'm just clicking JSP file. Next, you can name it whatever you want because unlike the unlike the traditional ways of you'll be rendering JSP, you'll be using JSP just for views. So here JSP will be more of like a templating page. We'll just go select next. Again, we'll talk more about this in the lab. This is again just for your homework if you need help. You go to the title, whatever you want, and you're going to select I'm just going to create a form tag, and in that I'm going to create input. Again, we are using Emmet here. It's a plugin for this thing. If you don't have Emmet, no problem. You can just type it out. I just prefer Emmet. Upload. Now we'll be doing this will be file. I'm going to just give it a name as file as well because why not? I'm going to create another input tag is equal to submit. Okay, that should be all, I guess. I'm going to save and we'll just create a first route. I'm going to go to my src main in my package. You can create new packages. For now, just create it over here. I'm going to make it I'm going to make this class a controller. Okay, again, just a hint, sometimes this becomes really slow. What you could do is just press control and I'm sorry, control dot, he'll take you to that error and control one. So you can import that thing with just an enter. Okay, now I'll be creating a new function and I'll be using it for public. You could use public string and then pass a string. Spring has that. Again, there are multiple ways you can use it. We have discussed two of them in the last class, but this class I'm just using this one because it's kind of like it's what I found people get more than that because they have to for handling the return model and the model that you get. So here it becomes very clear that you're returning a view with the model. I'm going to make it render page again, control dot and then 1, enter. I am going to make it the rate. I wanted to listen, I want to call this function whenever we are on the home page of our website. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. Again, these are kind of weird quirks. Yeah. Oh, come on. Okay, fine. I'm going to create a new object of model view type, model and view. I'm audible, right? Yeah. New model and view. So select enter. Okay, this is a blank one. I'm going to return that. Okay, now I'm going to set view name as that. This is the file name that we gave. I expect to run this right click, run as Spring Boot application. Just to check if everything is working. This should start up the application on port 8080. No problem. Let's go to port 8080. Okay, there you go. We have a form and we have the main page ready. Now this is what we knew already. Now let's go a step ahead. Now when we post the form, we want the we want the file to be received at one of the endpoints. So we are defining an endpoint which is named as /upload for the post method. Again, we have spoken a lot about what is get, what is post, and the other types of method like put, delete, patch, etc. But for now, we're just looking at get and post. Okay. Now I'll be creating a function again, public model and view. I'm just going to make it upload through S3. Now I'll be making it post. Okay, now we want another page so that where we want to display the image that we just uploaded. And so I'm just going to create, I'm going to copy this file and paste it and make it profile.jsp. I am going to remove this for now. Oh, my bad. Getbootstrap.com. We'll be using Bootstrap. For now, we're not using much of it, but just for your information, you can get these things from here. It's just copy paste stuff. I'm just gonna paste it. Now, for some reason, JSP doesn't like these tags. He gives a warning. You could keep them or you could remove them. It doesn't really matter because we're checking the integrity. We would recommend to keep them, but I don't want people. It will be better if we just remove them because some people don't really like those warnings to be there. Let's just remove them. Now, I'm going to copy these as well. jQuery. Oh, my bad. Script, not source. Okay, now we have the things ready. I'm just going to create a container, and for now, let's just create a row, and in that, just create a column. Yeah, for now, I'm going to create an img tag. The src would be, we will be passing this argument from the controller. So I'm just going to make it src. Alternate would be front page image, and that should be it for now. And I could add whatever I want here, like, maybe I'm going to make this as, fine, you can just add whatever you want later, but I'm just going to select it for now. img src, close, profile is ready. Now, again, like I mentioned on my blog post here, you can check out the blog post. I will put the link in on Blackboard, but you could wait. Let me just get the blog post here. Okay, as you can see on the blog post here, we are not supposed to have business logic in controllers, but since we are doing the introduction, I am putting it anyway. So always remember that in your software engineering class, you're never supposed to do that. We are doing it because we are introducing a new concept, so I don't really want people to get confused what where which thing is. So I'm just going to do it anyway. Like I mentioned, okay, what is the first task as what we can read? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, that's okay here. Start a Supplemental application, create a new controller, get a get mapping for /, make a function accept multi-part file type. We will talk about this in the lab, but your function, see, we are sending a few things, right? If you see, we are sending a few things from this from the form. You can see over here in the form, we are sending a input type as file. Okay, so we want to get this file in our controller. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add a new image here. Now, again, control dot control one. Okay. Okay, multi-part file. Now, what we are telling Spring is that on upload, there will be a post which will accept a parameter called as file, the name of which is file, and it is of a type multi-part file and image. The difference between multi-part and file, we will talk the multi-part file and a normal file is will talk in the lab. But for now, you can just write it. Now, if I had something like on an index.jsp, I had something like this. Input type is equal to name, and name is equal to, let's say, uh, first name, and I save it. We could do here something like this at the rate request parameter. I'm going to make it first name, which is of a type string. I'm going to name it first name. So what we're telling him is we are having two request parameters, first name and the file. So in the profile page, not in the profile page, in the index page, we're sending him two things, first name and file. As of now, we are not sending the first name, so I'm going to remove this. Going back, I'm going to remove this as well because we are not sending the first name as of this lab. Remove it, but this is for additional information. So we will get this image, and this image is a argument for this upload to S3 function. So Spring will take the file and make it as an argument, will be available as image. Okay, it is a multi-part file. Again, not a file. Multi-part file is broken and then sent on the network. Okay, it's like a stream thing. Okay, let's just go down and yeah, we have the multi-part file. Now, what I'll be doing is I'll be creating. First of all, we need. You can see here. Create an Amazon S3 client object. Now, what is a client object? It's a thing which we will talk to, like a credentials thing. So I'm just going to make it basic AWS credentials. Okay, control one, this one. Credentials is equal to new credentials. We need to give him the ID and password that we get from the IAM role. I am going to get that. Where is it? Just a second. Yep, there you go. Here's the username. Here's the secret. So it's not username and password. Sorry for that. It's called the access key and this is secret token. I mean, just the naming that they prefer to call it. But essentially, it's like a username and password which you can authenticate your setup with AWS S3. Now we're going to go and we're just going to now we get this file. Now it comes on our server. What we're going to do is we're just going to uh, you know create a put request. Now what we want is to send this file over there, right? So I'm just going to make something like put object request is equal to new put. We want to create a new put. So we are basically want to tell thing to to have to just put stuff into the S3. So we're just going to make it now. The first argument that this takes is your bucket name. The bucket name that we created was, let me just, I don't know, I forgot. Where is it? Refresh, I guess. Yep, there you go. This one. I'm going to copy this bucket name. There you go, comma. The second argument is the image stream. Sorry, the input, the stream. So input stream. So we're getting the input stream from the image. Again, this is a. Oh, sorry. The second. Oh, my bad. Sorry, that's the third argument. So the second argument is. Oh, my bad. Of this one. The second argument it takes is the key name. Now, a key is identifier of your file. For here, I'm just going to make it the same one. Get original file name. So we're sending the file name. You could do something like ABC, and the file will be available as ABC in here. But I'm just going to make it the original file name itself. Dot get original file name, comma image dot get input stream, comma new. Now again, it needs the input stream and the file. We'll talk about it later, but for now, just again, we'll see it in the lab. But anyways, object metadata. Let's create a new object from metadata. So again, this is just you have some metadata which you can add to those files in S3. As of now, we are not adding any because we don't need anything to which and again, this is very important. We want to make the file as publicly readable. That's the reason we need to make it. We need to change the access control. You get it. We need to change. Oh, sorry. Dot. You can see a public read, right? I want to public read. Enter. Now this is your request. So whenever you fire this request to an put object, it should be there. Okay, again. Okay, this is throwing an error because it won't. I'm just gonna do that. That's fine, I guess. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this. doesn't really matter. Now after this, yeah, so we're just going to make okay, so we did create the credentials here, but we did not, okay, we used the credentials, but we did not create the actual S3 client. So Amazon S3. So this is like, one of the clients that we are accessing S3. Now we'll pass the credentials as one of the objects. So just again, import whatever is equal to Amazon S3 client builder. Okay, this is an object dot. Sorry. Okay, let me just import this one first. That one. Dot standard. Now just just be with me here. It's just that we need. Okay, standard dot with credentials. Oh, sorry. So we are building a client. That's what building a client is. We'll talk more about this again in the lab. For now, just a reference code for you. Okay, now once we create the request, we say s3 dot put object, and that should be it. So we are requesting to s3 to put this object in it. Now, there's another thing about this. Yeah, you could not technically use S3 client, dot get object in the same manner, in the same fashion. Simple as get object. You can just explore all the things that we have here. Dot get, you can see get object. You could create a bucket. You could like, I'm sorry, you could like create a new bucket. You can create a new bucket. You could do everything you want with this. So basically, whatever you did with UI, we could do with this. Just for simplicity that we did it the UI thing. You could explore with the methods here, play around with it, your choice. Now, secondly, we want to now if this file is uploaded, where the file is uploaded. So now what we want is we want to get the URL of that file. You could just say get object that key name, and then we get the key name in this case as get original file name. There's a trick though. We could just use something like which I've mentioned on the blog post here. Where is it? Here you can see this is like a kind of like a short hack, which I would say you just your bucket name and the AWS, and that just works. So I'm just going to copy this one. I'm going to make a string. So the file would be available at this URL. Now you could do get URL from the because you get object, and then you can do dot something and then get URI. But for now, this is just a small hack. You could just it just works. I don't mind you guys using it, and it does the same thing. Unless they have some major changes, this works. Now this our bucket name is, what is our bucket name? Our bucket name was this one. S3 news dot now. Now we kept the key name as our file name. So just going to keep the same one. Oh, my bad. Okay, I think that should be it. Now we have this image source. Now all we need to do is we need to pass this character to our view. So I'm just going to do mv dot add object. Oh, isn't that accessible over here? Not mv index page. Dot. Okay, something is hitting. I'm just hitting something wrong. Uh, okay, we didn't. Oh, we didn't create that yet. That's why. I'm just going to create this one before what we do everything. Say index page. That's why it's not. It's not getting it. Dot and object. I'm going to make it name is this. This will be the name where it is available on your JSP page, and this is the string name, and this is the object name which will be available on your view, which you can see here. We did write src, yeah, img src. It's img src, and then this can be anything, like this, and then this, whatever. This should be same. I mean, that's the entire point. But I'm just going to make it img, whatever. You get the point. Now I'm just going to go and I'm going to return, I guess. Return profile. Sorry, my bad. Index page dot set view name as profile and enter. After I do enter, I could do something like return. It's actually just call it profile page. It's just hurting me that I'm at profile page. It just doesn't feel nice about it. Copy. Now if this thing fails, I'm going to print the stack, and I'm just going to set the profile page as you. In theory, you should have an error page over here. You just get an error page over here. File, new, other, JSP file. Now, what we should do is we should redirect this to /error. So over here, we should do something like a redirect page. So should be a redirect. But for now, for simplicity, I'm going to select error. I'm going to do that. Okay, let's just do that. I think that should be it. It's not complaining. Okay, as you can see here, first just upload profile in index. It's upload action. Oh, I forgot what method is equal to post. Very important. We forgot to do that. Okay, close it, close it, close it. Run as Spring Boot app. Open the console. Okay, there's some problem. There's something there. Okay, I'm just going to stop and start it. Fine. The thing is, the initial instance was running, so that's the reason. I didn't stop it last time. Okay, it's running now. When I go back, enter, you can see the form that we have. I can select a file. I'm going to select this one, doll.png, submit. There is some error. Okay, let's see what the error is. This is current request, not a multi-part request. Oh, so we did your form that you are sending is not going as a in the proper type as a file type. So I'll just show you multi-part data. The advantage of this we will talk in the lab. Start. What happens is sending is a non-normal file, but one is a multi-part file. So You get that thing. Now let's just go back. Oh, I didn't refresh the page. That's why. Now he loaded the last page, which was not multi-part. Let's just refresh this one, and you can see right click inspect element. You can see now it has multiple attached. I'm going to select this, lol, open, upload. And the file should go to my, yep, it's there. You can see this one because you right click inspect. You can see the SRC is Amazon. It's not hosted on my server. So I'm going to go to my S3. Where are you? Here. And if I refresh the page, I have the file here. Yeah, it's here. You can see all.png. So that should be for this lab. We will be using a little bit of Bootstrap. But again, the explanation, I will give you the explanation in the lab itself. And yes, that is it. Okay, I'm just going to close it down.